it. I think we're going to be live now. And I think we're live. Are we live? Yeah. Hey, guys. Welcome back to another episode of the Typical Skeptic Podcast. I got my good friend Ra Castaldo with me. We're going to be doing an amazing show today. That worked. And just remember to hit subscribe, guys. I put the subscribe banner up, I don't know why that's doing that. Yeah, I put the subscribe banner up, just remember to subscribe on YouTube, on Rumble, and on, on YouTube and on Rumble, and follow me on Facebook, Instagram. I'm not hard to find on there. The links are all in the description. But yeah, definitely follow me on Rumble. And we're almost up to 5,000 on Rumble, so that's good. And YouTube's growing slower, but that's okay. Okay. All right. Today I have my good friend with me, Ra Castaldo. Ra is a hereditary Strega seer, mystic, poet, and intuitive visionary. Born in the caul, Ra has walked between worlds since birth, exploring dreamtime realms, crystal consciousness, and the ancient lineages of soul evolution. He's the founder of the Mystical Spiral Store.com, the creator of the Mystical Spiral, where he offers tools for psychic development, crystal alchemy, and personal ascension. On his YouTube channel, Exploring the Caul with Ra, he shares cutting-edge insights into plasma beings, ancient occult knowledge, and the mysteries of human soul. In tonight's episode, Ra will be back for a night of personalized crystal readings, where Ra will intuitively identify which crystals align with your unique energetic blueprint. Ra will also share revelations from the recent Ember Days Dreamtime journeys, where he witnessed multidimensional prison camps holding souls trapped in the reincarnation cycle, echoing my lab-like structures, but far more sinister. These realms are seen to serve as spiritual rehab centers, using souls as laborers in the physical realm. Ra reveals how he's been hunted for Astral unlocking coordinates beyond the earth, leading to soul evolution towards plasma light. And I'd like to give him a big warm welcome back to the show. Ra, thanks so much for coming back on, man. How are you?
What's up, Rob? It's good to see you, man. It's a pleasure to be back here on the Typical Skeptic Podcast. And I'm pretty sure this is going to be a really informative and interesting show, like always.
Hell yeah. I'm going to grab this candle real quick. But what have you been like seeing? Like, what have you been seeing in like the astral or dreamtime realms?
Well, this has been going on my whole life. And I think a lot of people have different ways of interpreting it because, unfortunately, in America, especially, we've lost our knowledge of our hereditary lines. We've lost a lot. Not only that, but society has been deliberately programmed to make us forget who we are and what we're doing, and we've been enslaved through media and enchanted through materialism and all sorts of things that we've forgotten why we're here. We've forgotten our true mission as souls in this physical matter that we're in right here, because I truly believe that ultimately we have a soul that is on a cosmic journey, and that soul is a type of plasma light. And as we are in this planet of prayer, even if you go back in ancient Sanskrit, they considered this the prayer planet. This is a planet of learning and exploring your spiritualism to create and to learn and to progress. Right. And ultimately, we've forgotten all that about who we are. So I think that our soul is a type of plasma light, and it spirals down through our head. When we're born, if you have ever had a baby in your hands, I saw it with my child and my sister's children, my brother's children, and various children that I've been around when they were infants, like just born. There's a little window right on top of the head that's very soft. I know when I first held my daughter and I touched it, you're almost scared. You're like, oh my God, you can like push your thumb into it. It's like a really, really soft spot. It's like a window area. I think this is the area where the actual soul comes into us. A plasma light comes into us and literally spirals around our spine and is connected to our brain and our brainstem, and how we process information that comes up our spine and hits the back of our brainstem and floods our mind with images and knowledge and past life. It's storing our soul's journey. And when we die, I feel like that plasma light spirals off of our spine and exits the top of our head. And then we have a short period of time from then on. I think it's between a 2 to 6 weeks period where the soul can journey back into the plasma waters. But we've lost the knowledge. Souls are becoming trapped and herded and congregated and used. And I've been witnessing this in various ways throughout my whole life. And my lineage, not just in my hereditary Italian lineage, but my soul's lineage, I have been shown that I wasn't just born in this lifetime inside the caul. For those that are just hearing for the first time, real quick, the caul is spelled Caul. It's rare. It's maybe about 1 in 150,000 babies are born this way, and most times the baby isn't born fully in the caul. It's just with some of the caul on the head and face. So when I was born, my mother's water never broke. I came out of the womb still in the caul, the amniotic sac, and I had the umbilical cord wrapped around my neck. So this is called a caul birth, being born behind the veil. In Italian mysticism, there's a great book, if you guys ever want to get it, called Night Battles by Professor Carlo Ginzburg. And he's an Italian Jewish professor. He grew up in Italy, but he's also he's half Jewish, half Italian Jewish professor. And it talks about even courtroom testimonies from the Holy Inquisition, where people were describing, see, in the Mediterranean, especially in Italy, they have very unique DNA. This was a crossroads spot for so many cultures. Right, the boot and the island of Sicily and Italy is like an island right there, right? It's almost like an island, right? It's right in the crossroads of trading routes, and so many wars took place in Sicily over that port and that area, and Italy being a crossroads for so many ancient cultures. A unique DNA emerged in that area, and a combination of very ancient knowledge. And in the Mediterranean, we have ancient information that goes back thousands of years that lines up with modern day ufology, but it has a different spin on it, like we have our own Men in Black. They were called the Capinera, and we have very similar to what people call my lab situations, but they're not super soldiers, right? And it's a way different thing. So many people that are born in the caul, they experience an intense dream time. What it is you have a hypersensitivity to vibrations, sounds, just a lot of your senses are just heightened. It's a positive and negative thing. Like experiencing like the dentist is brutal, very, like if I touch velvet, it makes my whole body get goosebumps and cringe. Like I'm very touch sensitive and sound sensitive, and it's really a battle in its own sometimes dealing with that sensitivity. So dream time is very vivid, and we believe in Italian mysticism that certain days of the year are very special. We call them the Ember days, and on solstices or equinoxes, people that are born in the caul will fall into a deep sleep, and their souls will travel into an alternate dimension, very similar to like an upside down of Stranger Things, where it's very similar to this dimension. There'll be similar people from your life, similar structures, similar landscapes, but just different. And of course, you're not experiencing the senses the same. It's way more vivid. You're not experiencing pain the way you experience pain here. And there's certain abilities, like I could fly in my dream time, and it's very vivid, and I can control it, like lucid type dreaming, where I'm and a lot of times I'm escaping and finding my way back and waking up in my bed, right? And in a lot of these wars that are taking place, because they're battles. We call them the Benindante and the Malandante. The Benindante are the good walkers. The Malandante are the bad walkers. Because people that have these abilities to astral travel, they eventually, as you grow up, you're going to have to make a decision, and you're going to get polarized towards one side or the other. So you're going to use your abilities either to make you be more materialistic and greed, get more finances, get more energy, get more powers. And how you do this is in dream time, you literally travel and harvest the energy of other people, right? Now, the good side from my family, right? And others have strayed. I've been lured towards the dark side my whole life. I've been having to battle people, but the Benindante, the side that I chose to fight for, they are against and fight against the negative and destructive thought forms of their local communities that they're in, and they fight to cleanse the collective consciousness of their local communities and their families and their friends. And you have little groups, and you'll be none the wiser to this normally in your regular life, that this is taking place in your dream time. Usually around the age of 40, it's made aware to you that you've been participating in these wars. And at the age of 40, usually you have to make a decision whether you're going to continue this or you're going to not continue this, right? And usually if you don't continue this, it gets wiped from your memory, and you're none the wiser, right? And if you do continue this, you'll start getting experiences from plasma beings and relaying ancient knowledge to you as you become ready for it. Because right now we are entering into a crucial time on the planet. We just ended a Kali Yuga in March 21st of 2025. And it's a 25,000 year cycle. And we are entering into the great summer of purification, which is going to be 300 years of purification by fire, by solar fire, solar light on this planet. And when that happens, it's a time of cataclysms and destruction, but it's also a time of evolution. The people that survive will usher in a new golden age for us, right? And a higher state of existence, a higher harmonic evolution, a less dense state of existence, right? Now, I've been, over the last few years, what's been intense is that I started getting experiences where plasma type UFOs would visit me. I have several on video on my YouTube, and after that, and during the experience, I wasn't having this like ecstasy moment. It was just normal. Like, I was like, wow, this is incredible. I was recording. But in the coming days after, my focus, my yearning for specific research, my goals, everything was more laser focused and more clear. And it's like, before that, I was trying to do research and dot connecting, but I didn't even know what dots I was trying to connect. And then all of a sudden, everything started to fit in place, and I understood what dots I was connecting, and everything started to be revealed to me. And it happened without some sort of ecstasy type moment. It was like a slow progression. Is very interesting, very interesting. And I have some of these on video, even some of the experiences that I've had with these plasma like glowing red and orange, like a star, almost like basketball size. And sometimes they come in groups. Sometimes they're just by themselves, but they're pulsating and vibrating like a star, and totally silent. And I've gotten several on video over the years. So during these astral battles, these Benindante and Malandante wars that take place during the Ember days throughout the year, depending on the outcome of these battles, will depend is depending on how the crops turn out in those communities in the area, or whatever's being, like the babies being born in that area. It affects the harvest. It affects a lot of things that happen in the communities. And each little community will have their own little team of astral warriors, and most of them will be none the wiser that they're participating in Dreamtime for this. Now, what I've witnessed is a lot of times in these Ember Days travels that I have, myself and others, and I truly believe as our soul travels, even from hereditary line to hereditary line, we're encountering in different bodies the same souls throughout different lifetimes. People that you're having conflicts with in this lifetime, you've had conflicts with these people before. This is we're trapped here in a recycling because we've lost instructions to the afterlife. And I truly believe this is why Jesus Christ came. Christ came to point us the coordinates to heaven once again. He had to be born as a man and die as a man to travel and descend into the Hades, into the plasma waters, into the Duat, into the Gehenna, right? Into the hell, as they say, right? So this is why Jesus came, to point us to coordinates to heaven. And we've lost the coordinates to the afterlife. Now, my whole research over the last 7 to 10 years has been devoted to the afterlife, the travel and transmigration of souls. I truly believe I was part of the cult of Orpheus many thousands of years ago, 2,000 years or more, which is in the Mediterranean area. There were Greek colonies all over southern Italy and throughout the Mediterranean. And they were, Orpheus had to do with a transcendence after death. And they did specific, forget about the emerald tablets, Rob. We never found them. There's never been an emerald tablet actually found.
I agree. Well, they did find, didn't they find the emerald tablet of Hermes? That's in like but not the emerald tablets of Thoth. I know what you're saying. The emerald tablets of Thoth.
There's never been an emerald tablet actually discovered. Dr. Doriel wrote about an emerald tablet of Thoth that he supposedly discovered underneath Chichen Itza in Mexico somewhere. But he never produced it or showed it to anybody. It never was seen. It never was physically tangible. What I think is that he was channeling some sort of thing and something, and he channeled. But there's never been an emerald tablet actually discovered. Never. That's a lie. So, but we do have are real golden tablets that have been discovered all over the Mediterranean, and they included instructions to the afterlife, specific instructions. And I've been decoding this, and these were held for certain solar dynasties of ancient Egypt, certain Vedic and Sanskrit solar dynasties. Many tribes had access to this for their pharaohs and their solar kings, because this is divine knowledge of the sun and the stars, right? So, and it has to do with advanced plasma physics and the way plasma relates to the domain of the soul of all living creatures, right? And it's just incredible. So they have golden tablets. This is a kind of expensive book to get for you guys, where the Orphic Gold Tablets in Greek Religion. This is one of the only books that you could buy out there that has translations of the golden tablets. And I've been breaking down what these translations mean. And they're literally telling the soul, now, when you become when you die, your soul's now going to be a plasma light. Your soul leaves your body, and now you're back to a plasma light. So all the light of the cosmos is now going to become visible. Everything that we need certain instruments to detect when in this physical reality will now become visible, right? And the soul sees these lights, and they get tricked by many lights. And this is a universal in most religions that talk about afterlife travel. You got the Bardo realms of the Tibetan Buddhists, right? A lot of these Bardo lights, they're alluring lights that deceive the soul. An example, you might see Tibetan Buddhists believe that you might see after death alluring golden lights or yellow lights or blue lights. And these lights will allure you to them. And as your soul travels into them, say you were a glutton in life, well, then these lights will lure you to the realm of the hungry ghosts. Well, you'll be forever yearning for all your desires and things like that. Or you were looking down on people throughout your life. Maybe you'll be lured by these lights to the realm of the giants, where you'll be forever small and be looked down on by giants, right? Or something like that. It's to purify your soul of all of the slime and sludge that it's collected, right? So these instructions are for the afterlife are to break the cycle of reincarnation and to literally travel into the plasma waters, into our magnetosphere, which is a swirling vortex of plasma, which has plasma tunnels coming out to other star systems, right? All these, it's a gateway of souls in our magnetosphere. And on the night side, when it stretches out, it's a magical region and a dynamic landscape that they describe in these ancient gold tablets. And they tell the soul to literally, and this is repeated even in the pyramid text of Egypt with Pharaoh Unis. They tell Unis to travel towards the circumpolar stars as a soul, no, towards the North Pole, where the hole in our magnetosphere is. They're at both poles, the South and the North Pole. They tell Pharaoh Unis, go towards the circumpolar stars and go towards the night side, right? Travel towards the right and to the night side with it, where the magnetosphere stretches out in the magnetotail. And they say to drink from the cool stream of the lake of Mnemosyne, or the lake of memory, right? And on the night side, you have these cool streams of ions, a stream of water, of plasma light. And this is the lake of memory, the origins, the knowledge coming from the sun of where you once came. It's the lake of, and they tell you, don't go to the one stream because that's the lake of Lethe, the lake of forgetfulness, where you'll return to reincarnation in the earth. Instead, you look for the cool spring on the right, and it looks like a glowing white cypress tree. And if you look on the magnetosphere, on the night side, it turns into like a teardrop, which is the same shape as a cypress tree. And it's glowing white because it gets the light from the solar wind that comes in. This is what makes auroras on the night side, right? Because light comes through the magnetosphere and it gets trapped in the magnetotail, and magnetic reconnection takes place and auroras erupt out. And they go like rivers of light that go in specific regions of the magnetosphere. And this is a region where the soul is instructed to drink from, right? So I've been decoding instructions about souls to become free after death and travel to become immortal again, to become one with the cosmos again, and drink from the lake of memory. So while the last few times I've traveled in Ember days, Rob, on these soul travels, I have been hunted, right? Hunted down. And also I realized that, and they were trying to put me in these structures, and they succeeded several times, and I escaped and flew. I for some reason, nobody else can fly when I'm in this. There's only a few different times where I encountered other people that can fly when I'm in this dream dimension travel, right? And that's one of my super abilities, how I escape situations and things like this, right? So I was getting freaking hunted, right, by groups of people, and put in these rehabilitation like structures, almost like malls, huge like structures like a mall. And they're like a rehabilitation rehab center, almost like a drug rehabilitation center, but it was souls being trapped in there, right? And while they're in their physical life, they're being used as slaves to do certain things, right? Whether it's become in the community and go to conferences and leak certain information in there, or whether it's to do bad deeds or do this or do that. And they're none the wiser of why they're doing this. They think they're on some sort of special mission, and they're some sort of soldier for truth or something. But literally their soul is in a prison and they're being used as almost like an automaton, right? And the reason why is because they were probably meant to be part of these Ember Day wars, that they not necessarily that they were all born in the caul. You don't have to be born in the caul to be one of these Dreamtimes travelers. A high percentage of people that are born in the caul have this specific vibration about them where they can travel in their sleep. But there's so many other people out there, thousands upon thousands, that were not born in the caul that also have this going on with them. And many of them, I believe, think they're like a MyLab, but in reality, they lost the knowledge of their team. There's supposed to be little teams of these Benindante and Malandante. And during the Ember days, you unite with your local team in your community to fight these astral wars.
Wow. And do you think that it's not just the Italian? I got a question. Do you think it's not just the Italian community? Do you think it's like people all around the world are like these
all
astral
around
warriors?
The world? Yeah, dude, that's what I'm saying. It's all the communities all around the world have this. But in Italy, I'm describing what we call it in Italy.
Yeah, yeah.
It's all around the world. I'm just describing what we call it.
Yeah, I love it.
You know,
man. It's
and
so interesting. Sorry, go ahead. I'm sorry.
And you can you hear me now?
Yeah, I can hear you. You're good.
Yeah. So my microphone changed.
Yeah, I know. You got it got louder, and then it got some feedback with it.
There we go. Now it's better.
Puck Elf says something interesting right here. Puck Elf says, Puck Elf's from Australia. He says, if you read the Odyssey, which is by Homer, right? Yeah. He says they describe an island with automated statues as guards on his workshop, and that's interesting because this is kind of off topic, but somewhat on topic. There's my friend Black Uni Gryphon that's in the chat. She sent me this thing about automatons that they used to have in history as well.
They also had it. I'm sorry.
Yeah, go ahead. I guess they had these like automated statues, like robots. They had like
you know what that sounds like? It sounds like in Greek they have one called telos. He was made out of metal and he would throw fucking stones down from the sky. It sounds like meteorites or something like that, right? So telos was one of them in Greek that I remember off the hand. It's spelled Talos, I think, telos. And he was like a giant being that was made of he was like some sort of automaton, and what we call it in Italy and in the Mediterranean when we travel in the astral, we call it like traveling to the fields of Josaphat or the Elysian fields if you're an Egyptian, right? It's like an astral dreamtime world that our souls travel in. And I think everybody travels in Dreamtime, but not everybody is a specific Benindante or Malandante, as we call it, right? Some people don't have that vivid, and we all have our own missions on the planet. But each community has a squad of these people. And usually you're none the wiser, but you have a certain energy about you, a certain thing. And a lot of times you'll even cross paths with the people that's part of your team. And you have a weird recognition of each other, but not understanding where it came from. It's very interesting. And usually about the age of 40, things become revealed to you and becomes more clearer. And it's a secrecy thing. Like I would never be able to reveal the people that I know that are part of my team that I've seen out there. You might even know them. You've probably interviewed one of them before, but I could never reveal the people that I've seen that are on my team. And it's very interesting that these you guys, if this is ringing home with you, I really highly recommend. In the Holy Inquisition, people were imprisoned that were local healers. In Italy, especially, right? They were helping people that were inflicted with spiritual ailments, all sorts of physical ailments that are, of course, originate from the spiritual side of who you are and eventually manifest into physical ailments. But, these type of people in the community, healers, and people that would, help people break spells that what they were inflicted by. And during the Inquisition, these people were imprisoned and put on trials. And we have records of these courtroom testimonies. This book reveals the records of those courtroom testimonies. And during these courtroom testimonies, you had the elderly ones that were benindante, that were born in the caul like myself, that revealed who they were, but not who was part of their teams. But they revealed in detail how they were born in the caul. See, we've lost our hereditary, even myself being here in America, like when I was born, I should have been cultivated and told about my special birth and my abilities and cultivated and raised with someone else that was also born that way throughout my bloodline. But we've lost that. We've all lost that in most families. So I was on my own trying to figure this out. It wasn't until I got a little older that I started to meet Lori Bruno, and and she became like a family to me, and different people that were also part of this bloodline. Right. And that's when I started to realize who I was in my soul's journey. And even if it's not accepted by your loved ones and not understood, maybe they don't need to know, things that they won't understand. But it's really incredible how these courtroom testimonies, they put their lives on the line to stand for the truth. And unfortunately, a lot of them were being blamed as witches or werewolves, because some of these abilities, when you transform in the astral, some of them are the dogs of heaven, right? When you have vicious astral entities that arise, that are demonic in nature, right? And feeding off of the human spirit and soul for powers and energy, they can be nasty beings. So you literally have people on the good side that when they transform in the astral, they can be like a werewolf type of being, right? But they're fighting for the good of the human soul and for our genetic memory and who we are, right? So you have to fight fire with fire sometimes. So you'll have beings that are on the good side that will transform into, and there were whole tribes devoted to this. Slavic tribes, the Neuroi was one of them. I think it's spelled Neuroi, the Neuroi. They were these shamanistic, shape-shifting people that would, transform. And so a lot of this was revealed in these courtroom testimonies. And of course, it was looked at as, see, in Italy, it's one of the last places in the world that the witch isn't an evil word. Like it's been demonized. So I don't ever use the word witch. Usually I use mystic or something like that. But in Italy, a witch isn't a bad thing. There's two types of strega. You got the malandante, the benindante. You have the good ones and the bad ones. There's two types. So just because you're a mystic, there's so many stregas that go to Catholic Church and Christian Church because they believe in Christ, like myself. But they also have a knowledge of herbs, knowledge of alternative healing. And that's not witchcraft. That's the oldest knowledge on the planet. This has all existed way before Christianity, way before any of this, right? Being connected to the trees and herbs and nature, and knowing your body and knowing that it's all connected and not separate from each other, like modern medicine treats it, right? You have a problem with one thing, they treat it and just treat your symptoms for that one thing. They don't think that something else can be going on in your body that's affecting that area or whatever. It's like completely archaic how they treat you, in modern medicine. So going back many years, I beat diabetes so far. Cross your but it wasn't because I went on medication. I was supposed to go on diabetes medication 3 years ago. I have diabetes in my family. My grandmother, you gave herself insulin. By the end of her life, her toes were falling and getting taken off, and it was horrible. My dad has been diabetic for 30 years or more, right? He's 82, and my mom passed a long time ago. But my dad's side of the family is, my mom's been dead about 14 years, but my dad, he's still going, but he's diabetic. His mother was diabetic, and I'm 47 now, but around the age of 42, 43, when I went to get my blood taken, my sugar was high. It was like 140, 130. It's supposed to be between 90 and 100. And then the last several years after that, it was the same, like 130. He's like, you're pre-diabetic. I want to put you on this medication. I was like, absolutely not. I'm going to just change my diet and my sugar intake and all of this stuff. He's like, well, that might help a little bit, the doctor said, but because it's genetic, it's not going to, you're still going to have to go on medication for the rest of your life. I was like, absolutely not. I'm not taking it. Right. So fast forward 3 years later, my sugar's fine. My sugar's fine now. And I did some things that, I stopped drinking soda the way I was all the time. If I have a soda now, it's just a treat every once in a while or something like that. Right. And I drink mostly water. I love lemonade. So like I still drink lemonade during the summer, but I mean, I eat healthier. Like my wife only makes like organic stuff, we juice watermelon juice all the time now. Instead of eating sugar, drink watermelon juice. That's natural, sweet, amazing stuff, right?
Yeah, and watermelon's amazing for you.
Yeah,
watermelon's. I've been saying that for like multiple days now. Watermelon, I think, is one of the hidden gems of like the fruit kingdom.
Dude, that's one of the main elements of the Gracie diet. The Gracie diet.
Yeah, they drink the watermelon juice. Yeah, I've interviewed Hoyler before. Did you know that? Dude, I swear to God, I interviewed Hoyler Gracie, and he told me how to make it. The way he told me how to make it, he said they make it with cream cheese sometimes. Like, believe it or not,
Whoa.
like he said, it was like a different, because I know they usually just take it and they put it in a cheesecloth and strain it, but like the way he said it was, he did it a little bit different, where you put like cream cheese in it. I mean, what sucks is I don't have that interview anymore because it was on Blog Talk Radio, and I guess Blog Talk Radio went under, so the whole MMA podcast I had before is gone. Yeah,
I'm really good friends with people in the Gracie family. So my really good friend, his name is Onishi Rodrigo Beltramini, but everybody knows him as Onishi. So he's a 4th degree black belt under High-End Gracie, who passed away, and then he went over to Henzo Gracie, who's High-End's brother. And Henzo has him going all over the world to open up schools. Right now, he just opened up his own Henzo Gracie school in Dubai.
Dude. Out of all the Gracies, Henzo was always my favorite. Dude, Henzo,
he's the godfather of the family, bro. He is the godfather of the family. And
he was the toughest too, I think. Besides Hickson, I think Henzo, because like Henzo was like smart, but he would fight anybody.
I don't know. Half Gracie is a fucking madman. Half Gracie.
Yeah, and Hine was good too.
To me, the best ones were Half and Hine. Those two are the best, and even Rodrigo Gracie was really good too. He was like, he had all around MMA skills, but Henzo was just one of the toughest, though. He was just tough, dude. Like he's not gonna quit. Like you have to put him out or break, dude. I remember when Sakuraba broke his arm.
I remember that in Pride. Yeah, in Pride.
He still fought. He was like, what? He was like, he wasn't even worried about it. It snapped.
Yeah, for people that don't know what we're talking about, there was an old school fighting organization. It was called Pride. Before Pride meant like a gay term. Like this was called Pride Fighting Championships, and that's what it was about. It was about like people who were proud to like fight, and like they had like insane rules. And then also, what was something interesting to say is when we talk about these Brazilian names, they start with an R. Like when we say Hoyler, it's Royler. When we say Henzo, it's Renzo. But they pronounce their R's with an H. So when you don't say Royler, you say Hoyler. Or if it's Renzo, you say Henzo. That's how they pronounce it in Brazilian. Or I guess you could say they speak Portuguese, But they have their own dialect of Portuguese in Brazil. I love the Brazilian culture. I've always been into jiu-jitsu. I just love their culture, man.
A lot of them are Italian. Like even Shogun, he like Shogun and Ninja, the Maurizio and Murillo Hua, they're mostly Italian. They're Italian and Portuguese. Their mom's from Milan. There's a lot of Italians in Italy, in Brazil.
That's cool.
It was like a refuge for Italian criminals for a long time too. Like there was no extradition in Brazil for a long time.
Weird? That's like how Argentina was too. There's a lot of people from Italy. There's a lot of people from Spain, and then I heard that the NAZIs went down there too. They went to different places and set up colonies. I heard some places in South America look like little Germany.
Yeah, yeah. Well, I actually think that's where Hitler went too.
You don't think he went to Antarctica?
I'm not sure. I think he could have been there for a short sort of period of time, but I think he did live out his life in South America.
Yeah. Puck Help in the chat said Ken Shamrock. Ken Shamrock was a good fighter. He was all right. Yeah, he was.
You know who was better? His foster brother, the other Shamrock, Frank.
Frank Shamrock.
Frank. That's his foster brother. Yeah. Frank was even better. Frank was an animal.
Is it just me where like the old school fighters have like more of like a toughness? Like, you know, like here's an example. Like
Dan Henderson, Randy Couture, those freaking guys. Yeah.
I was listening to Joey Diaz the other day, the comedian, and he was talking about how when the San Francisco, I know I'm not that big into football, but this story was funny. He was talking about when the San Francisco 49ers played the Dallas Cowboys back in like the 88 Super Bowl. And this is when they had like Ronnie Lott as a safety. And he said Ronnie Lott literally he broke his finger and he literally cut it off to keep playing. Like he cut off his fucking finger, dude. Like that's insane. Or something. That's what Joey Diaz said. I don't know if it's believable. We'd have to look that up.
They let somebody fucking play after that.
I know, right? I know, right? Like your
I think the doctors would let you for infection reasons and shit. Like, unless he didn't tell them. Like, what did he go into the locker room with a hedge clipper?
I don't know. Yeah, I got to look that up. Like, it's probably a what do they call those things? Urban legend or something like that. You know, it's probably an urban legend.
Yeah, that's crazy.
Who's your favorite old school fighter? Because we got some fight fans in the chat tonight. Like
my favorite old school fighter. Man, you guys are gonna not even know who I mentioned either. He wasn't the best, but at one time he was number one in the world. And to me, this is somebody that doesn't get recognition. No one knows really about, but he's also had a hand in teaching Anderson Silva his style, Shogun Rua his style, Murillo Rua his style, Vanderlei Silva his style, and so many others that came from the Shoot the Box camp. And that's Jose Pele Landy Johns. They call him Pele, right? So
I've heard of him. Yeah, I know him. Yeah.
Anderson Silva got his style from Pele. Pele came from the Shoot the Box camp, and at one time he was number one in the world. And then all the big breaks he got, he ended up losing the fight just by like barely. Like when he got his break in Pride, he had Carlos Newton knocked out with a flying knee, but somehow Carlos Newton survived it and submitted him. And because he was bitter about it and like pushed Carlos Newton after the bell, they didn't have him back. They didn't like him in Pride. So like every time he got a big break, like something bad, then he got a big break and he broke his shin in the fight. Then he got a big break and he got knocked out by Jake Ellenberger. Like there was always like something happened. Like, and dude, he never got the $1 million payday fight. He never got a big, but he was my favorite fighter for a while. And then Shogun Rua after that was my favorite. Shogun always been my favorite because Shogun. Not only did I take seminars from them and got to know them, but he's like the fighter's fighter, bro. He doesn't talk shit about nobody. He fights at his walking around weight, basically. He doesn't cut weight. He just goes in there and throws down, bro. And you gotta destroy him to, he just comes to fight.
Who else I liked was he wasn't as old as those guys, but he was like an old school UFC fighter. Was Anderson Silva, He
came from the same camp. He came from the same camp as Shogun, Vanderlei Silva, Pele. They all came from the same camp. The thing is that Anderson Silva at one time was the best in the world. He was untouchable. He was magic. I just don't like, as a person, certain things that he did because I know I've met those guys and I know. I took seminars from them and I kind of know some of the dirt that happened within the gym. And I don't like how certain things went to his head and how he treated certain people that taught him everything he knew afterwards. After he doesn't give credit to Pele. He gives credit to fucking Bruce Lee, if you ask him.
Well, I know. And Steven Seagal, you kept saying Steven Seagal taught him that kick. I was like, come on, man.
Those guys didn't teach him nothing. All right?
Yeah.
Pele and Rafael Cordero taught him everything.
That's a legendary coach there.
And Hudamar Federico, who owns Shoot Box. Those three guys taught him everything.
Yeah. we got some amazing comments about that Super Bowl thing. Eduardo Gonzalez says he did it before the Super Bowl, my brother. So I guess he did do it. And then Kelly wants to know what you think. She says, Rob, can you ask Rob what he thinks about Patty the Batty as far as newer
Patty
fighters?
the Batty. You know what? He's surprised me because
he's gotten a lot better.
When I first saw him, I didn't think he was as good as he was talking, but he is a beast though. He is a beast, dude.
Yeah,
he
really
he's
is.
really and I'm getting the more I hear him in interviews, I'm getting to like him more now. For some reason.
I don't think he would have a chance against that the new why is his name escaping me? The guy from Spain, but he's not really from Spain. Ilya Taporia. Taporia's on another level. You know, I think Taporia is just like that new level of martial artist that I don't know. He's just
Patty doesn't have the one punch knockout power that Ela has. Ela can just shut your night off quick, you know, and Patty doesn't have that like that. But I think Patty is he's really good on the ground, bro. He's world class on the ground. He gets Ela is too. So I just don't think he'd beat Ela Taporia either. But I would like to see him fight Sean O'Malley. That would be a crazy fight. I think he would beat Sean O'Malley.
Yeah. By the way, guys, if you like hearing us talk about fights, like, you know, me and Rob we've talked about many times now about having our own MMA, like UFC podcast where during fight nights we have a fight companion, and, you know, I just want to get an idea of like who would like tune in. You know what I mean? Like if we could get audiences from both to tune in, you know, that'd be amazing. But yeah, do you want to start covering crystals and stuff? Like, yeah, because like some of these people, I saw you held the crystal skull up. Oh, I got mine right here, by the way. I got my little one. I got the whole time. I got this little gangster right here.
Yeah, that's so
dude,
cool.
This is sick, man. Look at that, guys. You can see inside the crystal, the head. Look, it's inside the head. It's
like
amazing.
A whole world going on in there, and that one's got rainbow all over it, and it's an elongated skull I made for you.
Yeah, this is amazing, guys. I got this from Ra's store, the mysticalspiralstore.com. Which I vouch for 110%. There's never going to be a time where you don't get your merchandise. There's never going to be a time where it's even late. He ships out on time. His prices are reasonable. You know, he has good product. He always has the product in stock. I mean, if he doesn't have it, he could probably order it for you. I mean, he's a good business.
I do custom orders too, and we have discount codes up there too, and I give a free gift with every order, and not just a free gift. I actually like read into the person and what would be a good gift that they would need at the time, and I give out high quality gifts. So I don't give out no cheap gifts. They're not like, you know, you're ordering a high quality crystal and then I'm going to give you a less quality crystal as a gift. I give only I don't own any poor quality stuff. So I have all high quality.
This little guy that you sent me, this was a twisted copper necklace with a crystal inside it. You know, if you guys want to check
that out. That's Herkimer diamond inside of it. That's a Herkimer diamond. Yep.
Yeah, it's a Herkimer diamond. I keep this right next to my desk. I have all my crystals to the right of me, and but I keep
this. You should be wearing that on a necklace. You should be wearing.
I'm gonna order something. I'm gonna order something tonight. I don't know what I'm gonna order, but I'm gonna order something for sure.
You should wear that on a necklace, dude. That's powerful right there to wear on a necklace.
Yeah. I just don't have a rope. I don't have anything. I don't even know what.
I'll send you one. I'll send you necklace material.
I'll order something tonight, and you can throw it in because I've been meaning to order something for a while.
I'll send you 2 different kinds of necklace material.
Puck was just joking around. He said, "Did you steal that from Dan Aykroyd?" Why? What does Dan Aykroyd have about diamonds? Like he doesn't know anything about. I don't know. But
Dan Aykroyd's got a big head, maybe.
I know Dan Aykroyd's into. Oh, Dan Aykroyd. He means the crystal skulls. Because Dan Aykroyd's into like UFOs.
Oh, that's why. Yeah. I like Dan Aykroyd though.
Yeah, I think he follows me on Facebook. Like, I talked to him one time, and I don't tell anybody this, guys, but he told me he's like, yeah, Robert. He's like, I like to check out what's going on in the community. He's like, but I stay behind the scenes. He's like, try not to tell anybody. And I was like, okay. And I didn't bother him after that. I didn't message him one time, but I did tell him that some of his movies were some of my favorites. You know what I mean? Like, I was like, So I don't know if it was the real Dan Aykroyd, but it would be really cool if it was.
I liked Conehead.
Yeah.
I like
I love The Great Outdoors. The Great Outdoors was good. But he had so many that were like, I don't know. Yeah.
I'm trying to think of his older ones too that I like.
Planes, Trains, and Automobiles. I think that was him, Steve Martin, and John Candy.
Oh yeah, that's right.
Ghostbusters, obviously. Ghostbusters was a huge one.
Ghostbusters. Yeah, Ghostbusters got to be the best. You
Yeah.
know, that one scene in Ghostbusters was from his real life. You know, there's a scene in Ghostbusters where the ghost like gives him a hand job or goes down on him or something.
Yeah.
You know, and he said that was from a real life situation, that the ghost like got intimate with him.
Dude, I hope it was the real deal. I was looking at, so he did Blues Brothers. He did Blues Brothers, the second one.
Yeah, I wasn't a big fan of Blues Brothers though. That's why I didn't bring it up. I thought of that one, but I didn't like it that much.
He was also in Dragnet, which was a good one, and then Nothing But Trouble.
You notice how Blues Brothers is sort of like the Men in Black outfit.
Yeah, that's weird, right? Yeah, that is. That's strange, you know. Shout out to Dan around. I hope he sees this, you know. Like,
yeah,
he's
you know, we have the story of the Men in Black in ancient Italy. It goes back thousands of years, right? They're called the Capinera. So the Capinera basically translates to man in black, right? And what the Capinera are in Italian mysticism, hereditary families have oral traditions that they've been passing down for many, many years. And there's an oral tradition about these Capinera, that certain people that are brought up in these hereditary bloodlines, they're what you would call psychic or mystics, or have certain abilities to see things and sense things. So during their life, they'll get a visit by these Capinera. Sometimes the Capinera will literally delete knowledge from them, take away knowledge from them if they're misusing or they're not ready for the abilities and the knowledge that they're accessing. And sometimes the Capinera will reveal ancient knowledge to them and help teach them. And usually they would only appear to like the outcasts that live in the woods somewhere or something like that, in remote places. They wouldn't just appear like we have them in our modern day. Like they'll appear at someone's job and like sort of intimidate them in a weird way and then disappear mysteriously. And it wasn't sort of like that. They would appear to just like one person somewhere in the woods or something, and somewhere in seclusion. And sometimes they would even teach this person knowledge and cultivate their abilities. And sometimes they would leave them a blank slate and they'd be none the wiser. Right. So it's very similar in some ways to, and they would always be, the reason why they call them the Capinera, because depending on the time period, they would be worn, like in the ancient times, they would appear in like a black cloak or in a black, and in more modern times, they would come in very black and unidentifiable type of garb, very bland, very black, and nothing that would point out that you'd be able to identify, right? So that's why they were called the Capinera, because they would already be in a black hat or a black hood or a black cloak. It's very similar to Men in Black of today.
Wow, that's fascinating. It makes me wonder, like, you know, like, was there like this? Well, I wonder what the Men in Black were. Were they like maybe like interdimensional entities or something like that? Like, you know,
that's basically how they're described.
Like from other realms or something like that, like other dimensions.
In Italian folklore, that's basically how they're described. They described as if someone has an encounter with elemental beings like fairies, or what we call in Italian, we call them. There's various elves and fairies, like the fillet, but the general term would be the filetto or the filetti in plural, and filetto basically means like a fairy type of beach. But there's specific types of them. Like we have like one specific type is called the lincetto, and the lincetto are mostly like these little type of elf type beings. And there's different folklore in Italian mysticism that how you can prevent yourself from being attacked by the lincetto. Like sometimes if you have items going mysteriously missing, your keys, things like that, you can be getting attacked at night by the lincetto. So if the lincetto are invading your home or your dream time, a good way to prevent them from bothering you is maybe before you go to sleep, you spread out matchsticks on the floor or something like that. And supposedly they don't like disorder. So if they enter into your room at night, they'll be trying to collect the matchsticks and putting back in place the whole time. And or this is where the pentagram supposedly was developed from. So the pentagram is a never-ending loop. You're doing these. It's supposed to be you're connecting it in a never-ending star, right? It's just without taking your finger off the page, you make that star. It's never-ending connection. So it is supposed to. When the Folletto enter into your room, they'll be following that star all night, running around that circle like a circle of protection. They'll get absorbed into it as they're running the maze of the never-ending star, right? So that's one of the reasons why it was developed, even.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah. I remember you told me that when I had my entity problem to do something like that. You said, do it with salt. You said use salt.
You could do with salt too. Like if you have salt, right? When you pour salt into your hand, energetic beings get drawn to that substance. Then you can just literally throw it out your window and close the window. They'll follow it. It's a temporary fix to your problem, and then once you get them out, you put seals around your house with salt and olive oil. You can use olive oil as well, right on the doors, over the doors, or over the windows and doors of the entrances. Put a little dab of olive oil and things like that. Right, you could do that as well. You got to bless these things too. You got to do prayers and program them, right? And crystals can be used the same way. Crystals and energetic devices, right? Especially with a crystal, when you have a crystal, say a quartz crystal, a reticulated quartz palmstone like this right here, when you're squeezing it, you're tapping into the piezoelectric effect of it. When you're rubbing it, you're tapping into the piezoelectric. What piezoelectric means is you're generating electric current from the quartz. So when I wrap copper coils around it, it's literally eternally squeezing, compressing the quartz, which opens up the electric current of the material. Now, when you open up an electric current, you can now put thoughts into that current. You can put frequencies into that current and broadcast it, amplify it, right? So that's what we're doing. So if you want to prevent a certain thing from entering into your dream time, right, you would open up the electric current of the quartz and put that specific thought and imprint it in there, wear it around your neck, put it under your pillow, what have you, and it will broadcast that vibration, that element, and you'll be invisible to these beings. Right. So that's why I have a whole shield around me, because my whole life I've been a target for certain forces. Right. When you become aware, they become aware of you. Right. So you have to find a way. It's not something you can go tell the doctor or the psychiatrist or something like that. So you have to find your own soul family and find the way that works best for you, to stay sane, to stay on your path, and to understand where you fit in nature, your environment, and ultimately in the cosmos.
We had one person who requested a reading. It was from Rebecca, and thank you for donating, Rebecca. Her name is Freedom is Essential. So how are you going to do it? You're just going to kind of match the person up with the crystal that they. I don't. And Rebecca, if you're listening right now, put a comment in the chat so I can pull your avatar up so he can tap into you or whatever. Like if you want me to, like it'd be better if you could do that. I don't know if you're still with us. I don't know. I don't know. She didn't. While we're waiting for her to answer, the Andromedan says, "What does it mean to make a spiral in the third eye area?"
Well, you would be protecting your third eye from invasion.
Oh, wow.
Psychic protection. That, unless it's an inverted, because then it's a whole different thing. But usually if you want to put it over your third eye, it's for protection of your consciousness, your protection of your psyche.
Yeah. This is her right here. This is Rebecca. I don't know what you can pick up off that. But she's, her name's Freedom, is Freedom now, I guess. She shortened it to Freedom. And I guess we're doing like what you match them up with a crystal that they're, that they or something like that. Or
Yeah, and I'll also like say what's coming to me. So like I'm getting like in tarot, like I like you like the way I would do this. Like so if it was a tarot reading, I would say it's the Ace of Swords that's coming out. This is the type of symbolism I'm getting and I'm feeling. That's often called the death card now sometimes, but it doesn't really mean that. It's feeling like a worried mind, doubt, delay, setback, bad news, the need to fight off one's rights or trouble, anxiety, expecting the worst, that type of energy, interference in plans, being blocked, fearful anticipation. And when this starts to touch the person that's being read, this type of symbolism, it indicates one who is sort of sick with worry or depressed or sad. Right. So it's either someone in their life that's really sad or worried that they're concerned about, or themselves. That's the sort of feeling that I'm getting. And usually, the Ace of Swords is shown to like a hand that's holding an upright sword that is like coming out of a cloud or something like this, or something. It's like, and it has a crown on top of it. And there's an olive branch on top of the cloud sometimes, right? So that's, it's intense symbolism. All the things that I just mentioned is the symbolism in there. The doubt, the being blocked, the fearful anticipation, and sometimes the worry and is not justified either. Like it shouldn't be a worry. Right. So I've been also holding this smoky quartz crystal skull for most of the show too. So this smoky is going to assist me in some of the. Now, crystal skulls are great for being able to help deal with your psyche and bring in higher knowledge, right? But all crystals are good for different personalities and emotions, and for your current energy and transformation. Each person can use a different crystal for different times in their lives, and different gemstones at different times. So it's not like if I say this is your crystal, that's your crystal forever. It's just what your current mood and energy is at the moment that would be great for you, or your current state of being in your life right now, right? That would be what's best for you. But for most people, different crystals and gemstones, they usually don't feel the energy about them until they have some sort of ego, whether it's you go through a spiritual experience and you're humbled, your ego is humbled, or whether it's some sort of trauma and you're humbled by it, or there's different ways. But a lot of people, they can't sense and feel the energy of the crystal, and they think it's not really doing anything, when you have to also work with it. Otherwise, it's just going to be a shiny, pretty little mineral on your, but working with it, opening up the information that's inside of it, right? It's not that hard, but it's not that easy either, right? It's very easy when you let yourself be open to it. That's what I'm trying to say. For some reason, I'm getting like a golden muscovite that's coming to me. That would be great for you. Muscovite, do I have any? I don't know if I have any right here. I do have some. Oh, I do actually. So this is a golden muscovite. If you could see, it's a very type of bendable material. It's not like a 7 on the hard scale or anything like that. It's a gold. This is a golden muscovite specimen from Brazil, and muscovite is a stone of very high positive energies. It affects the mind center, your mental center, and it affects your mental and stimulation. Like it inspires people. It's good for problem solving. It's good for attunement and ESP, and giving you moderation over things, and helping you be more spiritually insulated, right? And it's very powerful. It harmonizes. It also is great in combination with lepidolite and fuchsite and some of those other ruby fuchsite and some of those others that have a very similar energy about them. But they help seal the aura and holes in your aura and help prevent psychic attack. And anything of gold you can use. It's great for using, whether it's golden healer quartz. What else is gold? You got certain citrines, certain calcites, certain gold crystals are great for building psychic shields, right? So what you do is hold the gold, whether it's a muscovite or what have you, you imagine a golden shield emitting from the stone. As you're squeezing it, you're opening up the current, and you imagine the gold shield coming around you, and any negative forces, whether it's people looking at you negatively or talking about you, what have you, they'll bounce off that golden shield. They'll be incinerated by the golden fire around you, this golden psychic light around you, right? And then you literally program that crystal to have that ability. So when you bring it out, you hold it in your hand, boom. And then once your body and your aura has that signature, you don't even need the crystal anymore. You can leave it home. You don't have to carry it with you. You can literally activate that shield anytime afterwards because your aura has the memory of it. Your psyche has the memory of it. And you can literally, boom, activate that light because you're part of it. You're part of that light. Right?
I was looking on your website. You have something that people really might like. It's the Orpheus Star Traveler AAA Rare Natural Citrine Elongated Skull Crystal. That looks amazing.
Yeah, dude. And right now you could get 30% off that with the coupon code.
There it is, guys. You can see it right there. And he was just talking about citrine. That's a dope ass crystal skull.
And it's a nice size, and you get a free gift package with it. And you could get 30% off right now with that coupon code. So that's not going to be up much longer. That's our special once a year summer sale. So anybody that spends over $150 can get 30% off. And anybody that spends $29 or more, or $29.99 or $29 or more, you could get 15% off. And not only that, I also have prices on sale, like slash prices already on sale. So you can get 30% off plus whatever it's on sale for. And I put new products up every single day on the website. Every single day I put up new products. We have a huge inventory here. And not all my inventory is up. I put up new products. So if you want a custom order, I've made human-sized skulls for people. Human-sized dragon heads this big for people. Custom-made orders.
You have carvers from Brazil, right? You have like families that have been carving for skulls for years, right?
What I don't do myself, I have my buddy Orlando help me. So between myself and Orlando, we get everything done on the carvings wise. All the copper work I do myself. All the copper wrapping and copper, that all I do myself. With the crystal, I can't do all of it. So I have one carver that I trust. I used to have another one that I used, but he got too expensive. So I just use Leandro was the other one, Leandro de Souza, but he's really expensive, dude. That skull, something that I charge like $200 or $300 for, he charges like $5,000 for. Yeah. The same thing. Yeah, he's like, once you get a name, I guess you can charge what you want for your brand. But I like to make things accessible for people. Right. It's built me. It's made me many years for me to build my brand. Like I came up, I don't think you realize, some people out there, how many people I inspire and that really don't give me credit. Like a lot of the people that even listen to your show, from like Isaac to all these people, I'll see their Instagram and they're posting Spiral Out and all this stuff. Dude, that was influenced by me and directly. They've been watching my stuff for years and buying my products for years. And a lot of my information, a lot of the things that I've been doing my whole life have been I've been a trendsetter and influence people and inspiring people. But because I'm a humble person, that I don't like to talk about it, but I'm very humble because I've been humbled in my life many times. Right. I went through group homes. I went through jail when I was a teenager, and and stuff. I went through, I was in like Rikers Island as an adolescent. I went through group home, right? And then after that, I changed my life spiritually, went through ayahuasca retreat in my early 20s. I went through so much tough times on the street as well as being, I had 140 IQ and got 1400 on my SATs and did well in school at the same time. But I've gone through a lot of life experience and things like that has humbled me. And, when you start to compete like I did in Muay Thai and kickboxing, and I went through Thailand in a camp for 28 days, you get humbled, right? You get humbled, dude. And there's this, I don't come across as certain, but I've always been a trendsetter. Even in high school, bro, I was voted most individualistic, and I had like 500 people in my graduating class. I was voted most individualistic because I've always been someone that influenced others and had my own style. Right. So it's the same way now. I've developed my own brand and my own style of making pendants, my own style of wrapping. Right. It's a very simple but intricate style of wrapping a smooth copper coil. You'll see a lot of people that wire wrap crystals. They're doing it just for jewelry. You'll see there'll be a lot of coils bashing against each other and all over the place. When you make a coil around a piezo, especially a piezoelectric material like a quartz or a tourmaline, you want a smooth coil, because not only does copper carry the electric current, but you want it to carry it smooth. So there's an entrance and an exit, and where it comes to a point and it's able to exit the stone, you want it to carry, that coil should carry the energy out of the stone, not carrying it all and bashing against each other where it's all chaotic energies going on. So a lot of people that make wire wrap jewelry, they're making chaotic pieces that are doing more harm than good. So if you want someone that has over 35 years of Reiki healing work, I have many certificates, even from one of the best Reiki workers in the world. I have certificates. So I've been doing Reiki work, and not just Reiki work, but spiritual work and working with crystals and crystal skulls and precious metals and all of this for over 30 years now. So this is, my website is the go where you'll get something that's designed specifically for your mind, body, and soul, and to help you process the light that is hitting our planet and hitting our souls and hitting our spinal current, constantly bombarding us. This helps you attune and process and assimilate the light. And I've made specific Vogel wands, specific crystal skulls that I've been guided spiritually to make.
Wow, that's fascinating, man. And yeah, you've been doing it a while, right? You've been at this a while. And guys, if anybody else wants a reading, put your name in the chat, and you can donate if you like. You're not obligated to donate, but you can if you want. And he'll match you up to what crystal he thinks fits you, and like where he sees you where he sees your reading in the tarot, Or if anybody just wants a reading, just put your name in the chat, and then we'll try to get to it, And there, I pinned the message for people to donate. Yeah, dude, this was a great show, man. You came out with so much stuff tonight nobody's talking about so far. Like, we could just do a little recap. Nobody's talking about these astral wars that are going on, and the spiritual stuff behind the scenes and how much it has an effect over our physical reality.
And I was literally being hunted to get me to stop working on soul travel and instructions into the afterlife, because souls need to be released from this reincarnation cycle that we're going through. Souls are getting trapped after death and herded here in this earth realm and coming right back into the recycle process, when there's a way out. There's a way out where you can merge with the cosmic consciousness again.
Yeah.
Right. And go to a higher vibration, a higher light. Now, if you want to stay in this dense world of sludge, by all means, stay doing that. Right. And every lifetime, you're just getting more weighed down and another coat over you, another coating of slime over you and sludge over you. And how much more can you pick up, and more guilt and shame and insecurities and what have you, all this stuff that you accumulate in this realm. right? Just pile it on as much as you want, just endlessly. No, like we need to break free from this and move to a higher harmonic evolution again, where we become less dense and back to the light of the cosmos, the light of God, right? So for us to become one with the universe once again, this is what we need to do to become a higher being, right?
Yeah.
That's what we need to do. Some people want to keep coming back into this earth realm, but I've had enough. I feel like this is my last time around. You know,
I feel it too. I don't want to come back here. I definitely don't. I mean, I wonder if there are beings that try to convince us to come back, like they say, but I'm going to try to be smart about it when I leave here. I'm definitely trying not to come back, honestly. I'm doing whatever I can to like not come back here,
Yep.
I mean, literally, too much pain here and stuff, We had one here. This is from Sally. Her real name's Tiffany in real life. She said she'd like a reading.
Yeah, so I'm feeling like a seven, like a seven of pentacles vibe too, like the which is like the true luck card actually. It's like or gamble or fate card, right? And it's in tarot. It has to do with like work, effort, and application though, right? And you could change the better in your finances, in your luck, and things like that. Also, this is like a time for her to play lotto, do the stock market. Freaking play the local bingo, whatever it is. This is like her luck. She has good energy right now to the winning way is about her, if you want to say I think she'll be lucky with finances right now if and different things if you go for it, right? So what can enhance that is I would use pyrite. I would use pyrite to enhance that luck. Really, really one of the best stones for pyrite. Do I have a specimen here? Yeah, I do have a specimen. Give me 1 second. I'll show you what a pyrite specimen looks like. So a natural pyrite specimen, like a big one. They have all sorts of different ones and stuff too, like where you can get. This is a natural rock pyrite specimen, and they're all little cubes. They come in natural cube form, pyrite. And these really help manifest finances and money and riches in your life. And not just money, I mean spiritual richness as well. Pyrite is great for that. So I think that's what would be great for you, Sally. And even if you just got like a pyrite, small pyrite specimen or a pyrite cube or some sort of pyrite necklace or something like that, it would be really great to enhance that energy that's about you right now. This one actually has some quartz right here too, pyrite and quartz. A little bit of quartz in there. But yeah, pyrite is great.
That's amazing. Yeah.
See that? Look at this is another little piece of pyrite specimen. Look at those cubes in there, those natural cubes. Look at that cube. Let me show you.
That's
Look
cool.
at that cube. Yeah, those are little cubes, all conglomeration of all cubes stuck together. Who else we got?
We got Renee, my friend Arizona Raven. She donated. I got to find her avatar here. I know she's here. Here she is. She was putting up the PayPal thing. Yeah, and you guys can donate if you want it read right away. Let me see if she put a note in the PayPal. She says, for Kaysen's reading. She wants to donate for Kaysen to get a reading. So I'm sorry about that. So thank you, Raven. That was nice of you to donate. So this is Kaysen. He's from Sri Lanka, and she wanted to donate to get Kaysen a reading. And Kaysen's
wow.
He's
dude,
I'll tell you
how wait a second. This is an incredible connection and synchronicity, because this morning I interviewed a longtime friend and colleague of mine who's one of the most famous astrophysicists in the world, Professor Chandra Wickraman. And today he was in Sri Lanka when I interviewed him, because he's born there. and
Wow.
he was getting an award in Sri Lanka today for being like one of the best, like one of the most famous people and one of the most best achievers from Sri Lanka. He like was put in a museum, like his plaque and everything. So
Wow.
from Sri Lanka. So I interviewed someone from Sri Lanka this morning, a famous person from Sri Lanka, Professor Chandra Wickramanasinghe, who coined the term astrobiology with his mentor, Sir Fred Hoyle.
Wow, that's amazing. That's so cool.
So I'm getting that Wheel of Fortune type of energy for him, like something that, and there's gonna be, you know, when you have, this is this like the this is about a turn of events, right? When you have the Wheel of Fortune, it's not necessarily a bad or a good thing. It depends on the energies that are combined, like attached to it. So if you're doing a tarot reading, it's going to be like what other cards are attached to it. That's going to show you, you know. But when you're doing a psychic reading, you gotta feel, like, get the feeling of what's going on. Now, of course, when you have in life, you're always going to have a turn of events. Things are always going to be changing and things like that. But it constantly turns from bottom to top to left to right, then top again, and all this stuff, right? You go from elation to despair to elation. Everything passes and changes. The only constant thing is the change itself, right? That's the only constant thing in our life, is that it changes. Things taking a turn for the better, making progress in one's life, work, goals, getting ahead. All of this starts to happen, and sometimes it goes the other way, right? But being in the driver's seat, being in control of your life and your destiny is what is the issue here, that I feel. And the wheel, the circle, that is what it needs to be straightened, right? In a way, right? And there's too many unexpected twists and turns. But this also implies that man always has that steering wheel of his own mind, right? His own way to steer it, to rise above the adversity. And the wheel's going to always turn, and life's going to always go on, but you got to be able to keep your hands on the wheel and keep it steady, right? And there's going to be certain crystals that are going to help you keep that steady. For some reason, what's coming to me is rhodonite, right? Rhodonite is not something that everybody thinks about as a crystal, or tends to even know about. They're one of the stones of the pink rays, right? I think I do have a rhodonite up on my shelf. Hold on. I'll show you what it is in person. So this is a rhodonite. This is a free form of rhodonite, really high quality rhodonite. It's really beautiful, and it's sort of like a pink, and it's got flash on it and little black going. It's about discovering and developing your hidden talents, and having generosity and love and altruism come your way. All of this. And rhodonite promotes energies of passion, of love for yourself, not just for people to love you, for you to love yourself. And rhodonite and even rhodochrosite, they're related in more than just the color and the name, but they become tools for you to recover your inner person, your inner abilities, your inner gifts, for you to be able to steer the wheel of your life better, and have a goal and a focus, and know why you're here, right? As one starts to discover themselves, giving yourself generosity and love is sometimes the hardest thing to do. And often people get, become people pleasers even sometimes, and things like this. But receiving love sometimes is hard for people, and even if it's from yourself, and rhodonite helps you attract the right people and the right situations that are best for you to apply those people into your life, and you guys can both enjoy and prosper and grow together, right? So there's been wrong people in your path, and I think that giving yourself the gift of rhodonite will help you more love yourself and the world that you're a part of.
I love that. That was amazing. That was deep. That was
Thank
really
you.
deep. That was, and he needs it too. Trust me, he's going through some stuff. He's a good guy.
Really?
He
Yeah.
is. He comes to a lot of the live streams, and he just wants to learn, and he's really open to it. I think he's had some. I don't know. I don't want to tell. I mean,
Yeah, you don't have to talk about it, but I'm sure that relates to what I was saying. Then it sounds like what I was talking about.
Yeah. And I wish Kaysen the best. He's an awesome dude. He really is. I'm glad to have you here, Kaysen. The next one is from Monaic, and I know you know Monaic, and she said, "Just send 10 to your cash app, Rob. Thank you." Like, she, I don't know if she had a specific question or if you kind of just wanted to go in on it.
Yeah, does she have a specific question or anything?
Monaic, do you have a question?
Or she just wants me to do like a general. Monet. Yeah, I know. I know who she is. Yeah.
She said no question, just general, please.
All right. So I definitely know what crystal I feel for the jump, but for the little pre-reading is that I'm feeling like a lot of energies that have to do with her willpower, her mastery of self, and getting weapons for your survival, having a full conscious awareness of what is evil and what is good, right? What is beneficial for you and what is destructive for you. And sometimes the line gets so blurry about what we're engaging in that we don't see what's white or black or what's good or evil or what's there for us to hurt us or to destroy us or to help us, right? And sometimes we get too proud to also realize what's going on in front of us. And this is about triumph and victory and achievement, and that life can't be all play and no work. That she's going through a lot of work, right? And she needs to. I mean, your life can't be all work and no play. I said it the wrong way. She's going through a lot of work, like a lot of things she's overworking her mind and things like that. So I think she needs to like have more playful energies and harness your energies and talents constructively, right? So it's about, I feel that this is the main thing that I'm feeling, that she needs to harness and her energies into her talents more constructively, right? And there's a dissipation of energies, dissipation of talents, and that can lead to different self-indulgences and things as well. And I also feel like a false type of triumph that's going on, like a scandal, some sort of false energy that's been introduced to your life, like something's, and I don't really know exactly what it is, but I can feel like a deception going on, when some sort of energy that's been introduced to you, that there's some sort of deception going on. So I definitely feel like orange calcite would be a great thing right now for you. Now, orange calcite's about creativity. It's about sensuality, sexuality, even sometimes. Your solar plexus, your confidence, your innovation, your playfulness, right? And orange calcite usually is something that you want to bring all types of abilities out of you and activities out of you. Like it gets your energy moving. It encourages you to see through things and find the solution of things, right? It's great for healing emotional issues and and even emotional issues and problems that are related to something that could happen to you sexually, or something that happened to you sexually, or some sort of a sexual issue, right? That could be, it's great for healing that. And that also goes hand in hand with your creativity, right? Your creativity is very hand in hand with your sexuality a lot of times. And also a lot of times how we're brought up as children, the way we get programmed, different things that affect us through our childhood can also lead to us having deep issues with sexuality and things like that as well. This is great for your physical body as well. Orange calcite. It's great for your solar plexus. It's great for that fire inside of you to emerge. Right. I use orange calcite crystal skulls all the time, and it's I even have a human size orange calcite crystal skull, 15-pound one, and I have other smaller ones that I use all the time. So this is a smaller one right here. I'll show you two different ones. These are pretty big actually, but they're smaller than the bigger one. This is an orange. This is an orange calcite that I really like, bright orange calcite. And this is a smaller one here, but they're great for activating the solar plexus and really bringing the light of the sun into your life, right? It's really incredible. So they have all types of calcites too, but orange calcite is the specific one that I'm feeling for you. Orange calcite is going to help you really bring the long-standing problems to a head and make you help find solutions, right? And even projects that you've stalled on for a while, it'll get that creativity moving again. Really powerful. I think that even if you combine it with a selenite, that would be great. Oh, the combination of orange calcite and selenite is magical. I would really recommend those two.
Wow, that's amazing. You see here, I'll see who's up next. Let me see here. The next one is Mirror Mirror, but I can't figure out who that is.
Mirror, mirror on the wall.
I'm trying to figure out if that's Casey Dunn, because Casey said she donated, but I'm not. I wonder if she's Mirror Mirror. Like, I'll do Amy first, then we'll find out where we have Amy, then Mirror Mirror, then Casey, I think. And let me see here. I'm trying to find Amy's. Here's this is Amy's avatar to tap into Amy.
Amy Rizzo. Wow, I grew up with Rizzos. I know a lot of Rizzos. And then the Jerky Boys, Frank Rizzo, jackass.
I remember that.
Wow. So I feel like too, like somebody that adheres to the religion and social and certain like regular churchgoers, or someone that's really into religion in that way, is affecting her life. I don't know if it's directly or indirectly right now, but it has to do with like adherence to those religions and not adhering to them. Like, and someone that's adhering to them is I think has a little bit of a problem with the way she carries things, if that makes sense, or the way she goes about her beliefs, right? And it has to do with like truth of self. And those who perverse all those surface trappings of religion rather than any deep understanding of the inner mysteries, right? So the people that are just about those surface trappings of religion and not the deeper mystery of spirituality, she's about the deeper mystery of spirituality, and the people that are about those surface trappings is affecting her. Now, that's very, very similar to like what can go on with the Hierophant card, the key of 5 in the major arcana, right? So that usually represents organized religion, temporal power and ritual that goes along with it, structured, dogmatic, organized religious organizations, right? So there's some sort of religious organization that has some sort of foothold on her spirit, her energy, right? And it's it could be, these, we're raised as a child to not question and just unquestionable acceptance to what they teach us and have blind faith and all of this in religion. And I think that could play a part in some people as well. But that has to come to a point in your life where you have to have a voice of your own and speak on your own. And it can't be just what your parents told you to believe in. Right. So that sometimes becomes an issue within families. I do sense some sort of energy like that, whether it's with family or a friend or a loved one, something like that. But it's the high priestess communicating only with the initiated, this card as well. The Hierophant speaks to the multitudes. It speaks to the initiate. So she is a spiritual initiate, come back here to reclaim her power, right? And there's going to be forces most likely in your family that's putting those obstacles in the way, right? So that's the kind of energy that I'm feeling. And it can be easily broke through. Sometimes, families can't always be. I have people in my family that I just can't blend with because of things. It's just the way it is. Not everybody in your blood is gonna like who you are and like things about you. Now, I feel a carnelian would be great for you as well right now. Courage, vitality, confidence, action, grounding, creative, sexual, things as you get sexual creativity. You get creativity with all sorts of creativity. It's not just your sensuality, your sexuality, your creativity. All of this starts to get more emphasized with carnelian as well. It activates your chakras. Like it activates like 3 of your chakras. It helps activate. It helps you with the grounding. It brings a sort of a rapid influx of forces to you, all sorts of creative energies, and it helps blend energies as well. And it's great to use with quartz. It's great to use with different types of quartz, like rose quartz and different type of jaspers. It blends with a lot of different combinations. But the sexuality part can be boosted by carnelian. That's what I meant with the sexuality. So a lot of people that have gone to long stems with not having a partner that they trust or can be sexual or open with, right? Well, this will help find the right person. These stones, they're not magic. There's nothing magical about them. But they do carry energies and personalities and traits about them. Now you can help tap in to those traits and tap into those abilities and amplify them and program with them so they can amplify and help you in your life. They become tools, right? So carnelian is like a very earthly. Let me see if I have an example. I don't know if I have an example right here. I do have some in stock, but I don't know if I have one right off out in my office here somewhere. Oh, wait, yes, I do. You're in luck. So this is a carnation little palm stone. Let's see, turn off the light for a second. Very nice, calming, soothing, earthly energies. Has a lot of browns and tans and reddish orange. I love carnelian. A carnelian palm stone would be great for you, and combine it with like a rose quartz. Great. Really great. That'd be a great deal. So I wish you the best, Amy. Amy, if you'd like a private reading also from me, you can go to the mysticalspiralstore.com, and I have 30% off everything on my website right now. And readings are about $150, so you can get 30% off of a reading. Anybody who spends $150 or more gets 30% off, and anybody who spends $29 or more gets 15% off. So whatever reading, even if you got a $99 reading that I have on there, you can get 15% off right now. I even have a deal where I do monthly readings for people where you can buy a year package, or I do 1 or 2 readings a month, one every other week, basically. And where we can go over, what's going on currently and things like that. So you can get 30% off that package right now for the whole year. So you could buy a package thing. So, and that also comes with a free gift, a gift package of a crystal package to help you while we do your readings to work with. So it's a great deal.
It is. It's amazing. And then we had this last one. This is from Casey Dunn, who's Mirror Mirror. And if anybody wants another one, just let us know. Yeah. But we've been going about an hour and 40 minutes. I was thinking maybe we should, yeah.
Whatever you want to do.
Yeah. Well, if we get someone else who donates, maybe, I don't know. Yeah. Did she whatever do you have a question, Casey?
Well, I have until she comes up with a question, I'm going to say what's coming to me. So it's about cosmic knowledge, worldly awareness, universal insight, truth. When the journey, it's about, when the circle completing itself, the journey ending, the facts of life being earned, the ability to be in tune with the times, to adapt yourself to changes, new ideas, trends, as the world is turning, you're adapting to it and becoming an adept at it, right? This is what's going on in your path now, a completion of a cosmic journey in this realm. This is your last time around, right? This is about having a job well done and a success out of the material and a spiritual manifestation, achieving cosmic oneness and consciousness, mastering the world instead of letting it master you, right? This is that lifetime where you're going to master your world instead of the world mastering you, right? Not being afraid of change, not having a stagnancy, right? But having cosmic knowledge and universal insight. Now, I'm going to recommend a crystal that's actually become very expensive over the last several years, way more expensive than it's ever been, and that's azurite, right? Azurite has become so much more expensive over the last several years, so much more rare. And a lot of times it's combined with malachite. Azurite and malachite, they're a copper-based material. A lot of blues and greens that you see in minerals, they're copper-based. When you see copper, right? When copper gets ancient and old, it turns green, like the Statue of Liberty. Well, same with stone. It becomes like azurite and malachite when copper gets old, right? So when you see a malachite, that's like an old ancient piece of copper, right? So azurite is a copper material as well, and it has about a 3.5 to a 4 on the hardness scale, and it comes in that beautiful deep azure blue color, right? And it's just magical. The blue rays that emit from it literally brings insight and vision and intuition and all sorts of intelligence to you. It helps you communicate with the solar wind. It really brings and strengthens your astric and etheric energies and abilities. It makes you less vulnerable to be getting psychically attacked, right? It helps you clear attachments and auric debris, right? It helps you wash away that auric debris that you pick up. It's really incredible. And of course, it blends with malachite and certain other apatite and various other energies and of crystals like that, right? So it also is one of those rare crystals that works with moldavite, a tektite that is very hard to combine with other. I'll show you what azurite malachite looks like, and it's become so rare. It's become so much more rare. Let me see if I have it. Yeah, so check this out. This is what an azurite and malachite specimen looks like. And they've become very expensive and rare over the years. Oh, you want with the green screen, you might not be able to see it too well, but this is an azurite and malachite specimen. Look at the gemmy. Just that's incredible. Beautiful. Yeah. And they've become way more expensive lately. There's certain things that have become really expensive and hard to find lately, like lapis lazuli. And a lot of people aren't talking about it, but the Taliban controls all the mines in the Middle East of lapis lazuli. So over the last few years, it's really hard to get lapis lazuli, and the price has soared. Azurite is getting very hard to get as well. Azurite and malachite specimens they've went up 1,000% in the last 2 years, like so much more. Stuff that I was getting for $40 is like hundreds of dollars now. It's like, it's ridiculous. So I recommend anyone who can get their hands on some Azurite, malachite, get it now before it's going to be impossible to get in the future.
Wow, that's amazing. Yeah, and I hope that resonates with you, Casey. And maybe we could do one more. What do you think? One more?
We got one more?
Yeah. Yeah. Well, let's see here. Let's do the Andromeda. And he always likes a rating, Oh wait, someone donated.
All right, I got something for him too, and it's funny because it fits in to what we were just saying. It's like synchronicity. So I'm getting lapis lazuli for him, but we'll get to that in a minute. I also feel that I don't know if it's like a So what would be like the Emperor or something like that. So I'm feeling something related to the energy, right, that that's going on with him right now, that's going to benefit him, and what's could be an issue right now is intellectual pursuits, interests, goals, reason, and passion. Those two together, and what's dominating more over reason or passion, or mind over matter, things like that, right? A fully developed intellect rather than depending upon instincts. Those two, a battle between those two, right, going on internally. The leader rather than the follower, right? Those two going on, right? That battle between that, and and also the archetype of Osiris, and that is, I'm getting symbolisms of that. So that's very interesting right now. And I think it's almost telling me that he needs, it's about leadership. It's about command and power and kingship, high position in life and strength, and getting to the top, and progressing and becoming a master of your own world, right? Now, that man on a throne symbolism, that can go along with like the Emperor Tarot card, right? And that has a lot of symbolism as being the one that rules over intellect, the one that rules over conscious thought, the one that rules over earthly knowledge. And this is concerning also stuff that relates to government and affairs and politics, and stuff that is ruled by the mind rather than your emotions, right? So there's something that's taking place internally that is preoccupying those powers and not letting you getting your full potential, reach your full intellect, reach your there's something else dominating over that, right? So to become more free from those earthly traps, right, you have to unleash that inner fire within you, right? You have that you have that kingship about you, right? That your intellectual pursuits, your interests, your goals, all of that can't be lost, right? You have to have some sort of pursuit in life, some sort of goal, some sort of interest to progress in both your physical and your spiritual life, right? So, and become a leader rather than a follower, right? And that's very, very important. Very, very important for you, right? And it's like a cross in life, right? When you're at that crossroads and you need to make a decision about what's going to be more important in your life. Is intellectual pursuits going to be more important, or is looking, researching stuff on the internet and looking things up, or is actually making your life better in every aspect more important, right? So that's the kind of thing I'm talking about. And what's interesting too is lapis lazuli. I feel like would be really cool for you. I actually just posted a lapis lazuli tower on my website. I think it's like $20, $30. So you can get lapis lazuli still, but it's getting very hard to get because of the tower.
I have a little piece right here. This is lapis.
Here you go. And a lot of times you'll see lapis lazuli has pyrite embedded into it. Do you see a little bit of gold embedded in there somewhere?
Yeah, it's like golden threads. Yeah.
Yep, that's pyrite.
Wow.
Yep. Lapis lazuli and pyrite. That's a really good piece of lapis lazuli. If you got pyrite in there, it's really good.
See,
so
you can kind of see it a little bit.
Yeah. So that's about truth, communication. That's about royal virtues like the Osiris. That's about inner vision. That's and lapis. For those that don't know, they were used inside the tombs of pharaohs to decorate the pharaohs. Right? They're a stone of royalty. They're a stone of divinity. They're a stone of spirituality. And it carries the vibration of the inner king. The inner king. And that's what you need to be. The inner king, Andromeda. And lapis will let you have it. It's the stone of royalty. It gives you the truest nature in your.
It goes back to the up,
Yeah. It's the truth, and it gives you your path of self-knowledge. Uncovers the truth.
I don't know how much the Sumerian tablets are true, but they do talk about lapis lazuli in the Sumerian tablets. Which is interesting.
Yep. They talk about it in Ugaritic writings. They talk about it in the Bible. I mean, even in the Bible, I talked about this before on your show. People always ask, well, is crystals in the Bible? God never said anything about crystals. And yeah, it actually is in the Bible. God's high priest, Aaron, had to wear a gold-plated chest plate with special gemstones embedded in it. And two of them were called Urim and Thummim. And these were special gemstones so the high priest, Aaron, could hear the voice of God and discern the voice of God correctly. So literally, he had to wear certain gems and crystals so he can assimilate the light, hear the voice of the light, right? It's exactly what we do today. It's exactly what I'm doing, right? Helps you assimilate the voice of God, the sound of the light, and dive into the sound of the light. And that's what I do right on my Space Water podcast. You see, right? Where is it? Right here, right there. Here, somewhere. Nope, it's in the back here. Space Water Podcast. Right here. There it is. Space Water Podcast, where we dive into the sound of the light. Well, Rob, it's been great coming on your show. I really appreciate it, bro. Are we going to do another one Thursday?
Yeah, we can do another one Thursday if you want.
Yeah.
That would be cool.
For sure. On Thursday, for sure. So, guys, check me out, themysticalspiralstore.com. I'm on YouTube, Exploring the Ka on YouTube. I also have a second channel on YouTube, The Mystical Spiral Store. You can find The Mystical Spiral Copper and Gemstones right on YouTube as well. But my main channel is Exploring the Ka with Ra Castaldo. And you can find everything. I write music on there. I write spiritual music as well. And I have my groundbreaking podcast on there, all sorts of crystal and gemstone reviews, and I have everything on there. Very wide variety of information, and it's taken me a long time to build and my brand. And guys, I'm one of the realest ones you're gonna find out there. You can ask around people that know me. There's a lot of people in the communities out there talking, and a lot of people haven't earned the seat that they're in, and to be the voice that they have, and I feel like I've earned my seat, and there's not many real ones still out there. There's a lot of phonies in this field out there. Everybody seems to be sensationalizing their own trauma and sensationalizing things to make themselves look like rock stars, where you actually do have some people out there that are here and are real ones and deserve the seat that they're in. So if you want some of that, you come right over to my channel, Exploring the Ka. I also have a Patreon, patreon.com/themysticalspiral. For literally as low as $2 a month, you can get priceless information. So check me out on that, guy. It's always great seeing you, Rob. And of course, I'll call you tomorrow. We always talk on the phone. Rob's one of my closest friends, people out there. For those that don't know, he's a really good guy, and I trust him, and I consider him a friend. Really close.
Yeah, me too, man. I consider you like a brother. You're awesome, man. I really do.
You as well.
And guys, go get all your crystals and stuff at the Mystical Spiral store. Support
I'm closer to you than I am my own brother, to tell you the truth. I don't talk to my brother as often as I talk. We don't talk like that. So
no, I feel honored, man. I really do. That's amazing. Well, thank you everybody for tuning in tonight, and we'll see you again on Thursday. Yeah, see you guys. Thanks, guys. And if anybody has any questions or anything, I'll be on Discord tonight. I'll be on my Telegram group. I mean, I nobody ever messages me on there, but you can message me on either one. If you want to message me on Discord, if you want to message me on Telegram, that's fine. And support the podcast, guys, if you can. Thank you to everybody tonight who donated. Thank you to everybody for watching. Tomorrow I have a couple shows. I gotta see. I don't know who that is. I got to figure out who's tomorrow. But anyway, I know Ida's tomorrow. From full disclosure now, Ida Farhat, she'll be on tomorrow. And then it says Veronica, but I can't remember who Veronica is. Like, if anybody remember, I can't remember who I scheduled tomorrow for Veronica. I got to look that up. All right. Thanks, guys. I'll see you guys tomorrow. This just hit me, and I'm like, oh, man, I wonder who that is. All right. I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, everyone. Good night. Love you guys.